Let's just give it a jolt. So take your open palms and just kind of smack the side of the furnace or kick the side of the furnace. But I'm wanting to give it a physical jolt.
Yeah. Okay.
Give it a good shot. And many times that you'll hear the blower stop.
In this video, we share what you can do if your indoor unit just will not turn off. There are two different issues associated with this. One is it is maintaining the temperature, but it's just running constantly. The other is if it's beginning to have an uncomfortable temperature in your house. We share what you can do as a homeowner to help fix this problem. So if you're a homeowner and you want to improve your heating and cooling system and save some money, please subscribe and keep watching. Hey, what do people do when their furnace or air conditioner is working so well that it just won't even turn off?
First thing to do would be check the thermostat settings, because there is a switch on the thermostat. A lot of people aren't aware of this. You know, you've got your one switch that says heat, cool, off. You know, that's kind of where you switch from season to season, which appliance you want to work. But there's another blower switch, and it usually says fan on or automatic, you know, something like that. And the automatic mode means when it's in that setting, the fan of the furnace will automatically come on with the air conditioner. It'll automatically come on with the furnace. It typically stages on at some point in the normal cycle of the appliance. You know, it doesn't run all the time. If you put it in the on position, that fan runs all the time. It runs continuously. So you're still going to maintain your heating and cooling temperatures, but with that fan in the on position, it's going to continue to run in between the normal cycles of the appliance.
So maybe you just need to change the settings on your thermostat to not be on.
And that's beneficial in the summertime. We run our blowers a lot around here, for constant circulation of the home. Even though it's not cooling the home, it's circulating air and creating air movement, so it's more comfortable and things like that. If it is in the auto position and the blower is continuing to run all the time, let's go downstairs, go down to the furnace downstairs, and let's back up a step. I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and turn everything off upstairs, the thermostat. So that heat, cool, off goes to off. Okay. The blower switch goes to automatic. I have turned everything off. First, let's just cycle it off at the service switch. Now, I want you to do this very gently. I don't want to cause any excess vibration or jar or anything. I want you to, there should be a what looks like a light switch on the side of your furnace cabinet. Or it's going to be a plug-in, like a pigtail coming out. It's going to look just like plugging a cord into an outlet. Just gently unplug it or turn that switch off. Now, you most definitely should hear it stop at this point. Just wait just 30 seconds, you know, just let it stop, come to a complete stop. And now let's turn it back on, or let's plug it back in and see what happens. If you plug it back in and everything is off, well, let's go ahead and go back upstairs and just run it through a heating or cooling cycle to see if it's corrected itself. It's very possible you had a relay or a circuit board was stuck, keeping it running. If you put the power back on the furnace, plug it back in, either turn it back on, and immediately the blower comes back on, okay, well, that's a good thing to know. Okay, there is definitely something stuck, because it's not, the thermostat is not set that way. We know that, and we've had it turned off. We immediately plug it back in. Something is stuck. Now, before, I wanted you to be very gentle as far as turning the power off or unplugging it. I didn't want to vibrate anything. Now I want to do just the opposite. I want to cause a vibration. Okay, so with that furnace on and it's blowing, let's just give it a jolt. So take your open palms and just kind of smack the side of the furnace or kick the side of the furnace. But I'm wanting to give it a physical jolt.
Okay.
Give it a good shot. And many times that you'll hear the blower stop. That was a mechanical switch or a relay on a circuit board was just stuck. Now, it may stick again. Matter of fact, it probably will. But we do know what's going on now. It's really harmless. You want to have it fixed. Does that make sense? So at first you want to be real gentle. I just want to kind of gently check and see what's going to make the thing come off. Next time, okay, let's give it a physical shot and see if that doesn't, just to give it a jolt and see if that doesn't do it.
Is there ever a situation where it just will never shut off?
Certainly. You could have the contacts of a relay could be pitted, and they literally will kind of arc weld themselves. You know, there's a little spark, and eventually it just tacks itself closed, and so that contact never opens again. And so, yeah, you can have a malfunction where it will. You'd also have a problem with the wiring. A short circuit or something like that is causing the blower to run all the time. And we're passing into let's get a professional in there now.
Yeah.
And see, that relay that can get a little spark and arc weld itself closed and keep the blower on, that's why we want to give it a jolt. Sometimes when we give it a jolt, it'll spring loose. As long as we're having this conversation, it kind of makes me think of another situation that, see, what we're talking about here is really, it's not a dangerous situation. It's annoying. It's really not an emergency. However, you can also get that phone call and someone is communicating, my furnace is just running all the time. It won't shut off. And
so,
what it's
and
doing
getting
is
really
actually,
hot, right?
It's getting too hot.
Right.
I mean, it's getting really hot.
I've gotten that call before from customers.
Right. Now that's a little more unusual, but let's think about that one. We're going to apply some of the same techniques here. So let's say, you know, we've got the thermostat set on 70 degrees and it's 77 in the house and it's continuing to run. It's blowing. And I go to the thermostat, same remedies here. I go to the thermostat and check my settings, make sure it's not actually calling for heat. We're going to want to turn things off, and you'll go downstairs and unplug it. Everything should stop once you unplug it. We're going to go through those same steps, unplug it to see if that stops it. Now, let's say we really have a runaway furnace. And as a technician, I mean, I've only been doing this, 40 years? I can only think of a couple of times where, no, this thing, even with the power off, we've killed the power. This thing is continuing to burn natural gas. It is continuing to heat. And it's only happened a couple of times. It can happen. It's highly unusual, but you could have a gas valve, for instance, that is stuck open, physically, mechanically stuck, so it can't close. Once it's burning natural gas, it's going to continue to burn natural gas. If that's the case, I've unplugged the furnace. The furnace, I can still hear it firing. It's still burning natural gases. There should be a gas stop there. You know, it's typically got a red handle, a red or green handle on it. There should be a stop in the gas line right there within reach. You aren't going to have to go look all over the basement. It should be right there. You should be able to just turn the gas off. That doesn't happen very often. I don't want to alarm people, but that is something to think about.
That's in an extreme, unusual situation where even when you physically turn off your furnace, it continues to heat. Then that's your last ditch effort to stop the heat.
Let's turn the gas off. Doesn't happen very often. Electrically, if I unplugged it and everything stopped, that's great. If you plug it back in and it starts going through this heating nonstop, okay, it's time to get a professional in there. You know, that's not right. Something electrically, something in the controls is telling it to go, and it's not the thermostat, or you don't believe it's the thermostat. So, okay.
That is useful information, Dad. Thank you very much.
Very good. Okay, bye-bye.
All right, see ya. Bye.
See ya.